Greetings. This is Editing Vifs here. So for Rogue Trader, we tried highlighting the first episode, and after a while of thinking about it and dragging our feet, we don't feel comfortable putting out highlights in which we praise this game and talk about how much fun we have with it, because by the end we end up very much disliking the game, and it's not just bugs or long loading screens or weird gameplay decisions. So one of our streams, we got stuck in this, map loading maze, and just kind of want to just show it y'all uncut. So the next 40 minutes or so, completely unedited. Hopefully you can at least get some enjoyment out of those rants. All right. Wow, greetings. Good morning. Who's ready for more loading screens? Oh, check out our shirt. Yeah. It's a raccoon being abducted. Our opinion of this game kind of took a big hit yesterday. Okay.
Patience. My nerves are frayed.
How long do you think it'll take till we find our way to a fucking town or village or whatever settlement? Seriously, spent the last hour of yesterday streaming loading screens.
Ha! There will be no peace in my wake.
It's hard to really have anything to say when you're just running back and forth between loading screens. Don't really have any commentary for this other than who fucking thought this was a good idea? If you loaded all the maps into memory, so the loading took only a second or two, maybe, but we're seriously been spending more time in loading screens than playing the game. And even when we're playing a game, it's mostly just going from one side of a small map to another. We're still really salty about the whole gay stuff in this game. The lack of queer options. Imagine being a gay man playing this game and finding out the only character you can romance in this game is fucking a Jukari. Morning, Maple. Whatever.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Got there in the end. Oh. Oh. See, like, if all the loading screens were like that, then, you know, it wouldn't be a problem.
Amidst the madness.
This is why we don't play new games. Apparently we were a little disgruntled this morning. You love that grundled is a word. Ba-ba-ba. Toothy heads, bones, whatever, okay. Like, and it's random, right? So, like, there's, like, you can't even logic your way out of this. Nobody. In a year of our Lord Luigi, 2024. Good for Luigi, having year of Luigi for like a decade straight. He deserves it. So, carcass laying, yeah, whatever.
They will see. Oh, yes, they all will see.
How long do we have to spend doing this before we say fuck it and just stop playing this game? I don't know. Like, the first, like, 60 hours of this game or whatever, maybe even more, we're like, yeah, this game's great. Can't wait to play through it again, like, doing a different, like, being a heretic instead. And now we're like, please just fucking end. The pacing has gotten crazy. The ship battles are way too hard for no reason and kind of suck. And apparently, part of the reason they didn't do as many gay options is because they were spending time on a space battle. Fucking that paid off, didn't it? Like, we would be 100% fine if this game had no ship combat. Like, I guess it's kind of cool, but yeah, it's... feels like it's a thing to be like, make sure you're upgrading your ship and dealing with the Navy. Yeah, it's that feels a little too RNG dependent as well. Like in normal combat, we feel like, all right, we have sometimes we get RNG fucked over, and you know that's part of the nature of it. But for most part, like making good decisions, we feel like has an impact. And ship combat's like, go for the smaller targets first or the bigger ones. Seems to work either way. Just the only strategy seems to be like pick a ship, focus fire it down, pick another ship, repeat. And it doesn't matter if you start with a big ship or a small ships, because normally you think you'd start with the small ships, get them out of the way so they're not doing damage, but the big ships do proportionally more damage, so getting them killed is like just as effective. Baffling. we're so salty. Cassia is strictly heterosexual. It's fucked up. Apparently, we woke up grumpy this morning. Guess our problem with this game is like it's so close to being really fucking good. So close. But it just like fumbles at the most stupid things. Like, did someone playtest this? Who thought like this section of a game was a good idea? And like, it's not even like you can just leave. You like, oh, you came here? Well, now you're stuck here. Have fun loading for the next 2 hours. Scathing. But we're stubborn, so we're gonna finish the game unless something really bad happens. Like, we can excuse like weird technical problems. Like, you know, this is a big game. We understand like it's impossible to make bug-free software. Like, we can excuse quite a lot of bullshit. But like, don't you have to go out of your way to make a character heterosexual only? Like, it takes more work to be like, oh, we need to add in a bunch of if statements everywhere, check for gender. Like, come on. There's like, there's no reason in a game like yeah, like with Sims 4, that's we don't care about Sims because fuck EA, but like it's just baffling. Like, you're putting in more work just to alienate people. And like the heterosexuals, they probably won't even ever figure out because they won't even think of it. You know, if there's some lore reason or whatever, then like maybe the lore is just bad and you should ignore that part. Maybe war isn't a justification for homophobia. Especially from a 50-year-old British company that has been putting out lore and books and everything nonstop for decades. Like, maybe it's okay to throw some things out. Grumble, grumble. So we're just looking at our Soylent over here. Apparently one bottle has 414 milliliters and is 400 calories, which means it is roughly 1 calorie per milliliter, and we kind of enjoy that. Nutritional slurry. Sorry if that was loud. Sorry, headphone users. Sorry. It was funny. Maple, we're really upset that we're too autistic to enjoy your peanut butter cookies. Cause like, they taste good, but the texture is just like, our brain says no. Autism's all fun and games till you can't eat food or communicate like a normal person.
What lies beyond?
It's so great that since Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, like, we have gotten spammed with more crypto bots. Like, okay, not spammed. It doesn't happen like constantly, but like, it wasn't happening pre-Elon. What a shock that the shittiest man of a decade bought something for a ridiculous price because he made some dumb statement and then was forced to back it up and turned it into a fucking hellscape. Like, Twitter was a hellscape before, don't get us wrong, but like, it was at least like the fun kind of hellscape where like, alright, you know, like, you can kind of watch the train wreck occasionally from afar and that's fun, but it's never fun to be in the train wreck, you know? They fucking call it X. We don't know anybody who calls it X. Or Zeeting. Like, no. Fuck you, Elon. You're gonna dead name your daughter. We're gonna dead name your fucking website. Not that you can dead name an inanimate object or thing such as a website, but you know, you get it. Also, it's just dumb. We hate Elon Musk. We hate how all the tech dude bros think he's like nerd Jesus too. Like, stop fucking being bootlickers. He came to America with literal gems in his pockets. Like, it's not that impressive he found success. Turns out just having money goes a long way in a capitalist system. We hope you all are ready for like a slightly agitated stream. Well, just look at any fucking manager. Look at any person you know who you've worked with who's like amazing at their job and constantly is getting passed up for promotions and raises and everything, and instead is going to the bootlicker who makes the bigger boss feel good about themselves. It's a fucking lie. It's all a scam. And then like, oh, you have a job interview and it's like, oh, you gotta know to lie about things, but don't lie too much, or else that's bad. But if you don't lie enough, then no. You didn't sign the secret social contract that is unspoken, so you know, fuck you. Imagine all this because some people are like, you know what? I own that farm in this land. And nobody fucking stopped them. Nobody was just like, oh, you want to be a landlord? And then just fucking murdered them. Like, oh, you want to take all the benefit of our labor without having to put any of it in yourself and be like, oh, but it's fair because, you know, I invested in it. Like, fuck you. Fuck landlords. Well, going back and forth hasn't seemed to be working, but who knows? Like, we still have no idea. Like, does it matter? Do we need to go to different entrances and exits? Like, do we just need to go back and forth? Like, is it just number of loading screens? Who fucking knows? We could look it up, but we don't... We're too stubborn at this point. Damn. We wanted that Mareep. Have you punched him in the throat?
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Oh, I guess we assumed he. Did you punch them in the throat? What? This is the exact opposite of where we want to be.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Someone chose to do this. Like, we keep wanting to put that out there. Like, someone thought this game design was a fucking good idea.
One step at a
Like,
time.
and even at
Amidst
this
the
point, if there
madness.
is like some way you're supposed to go, we're not paying attention anymore because, like, you can. It's said numerous times, like, oh, it seems like the trees are moving, and like you need to do this ceremony to get through safely, and all this. And also, if you keep going back and forth between the same two maps, eventually you just end up somewhere else. So, like, why even think about it? you, you know, like, we'd be fine with a maze, maybe, but like the randomness of this and the loading screens. Like, if it was just one or the other, we could deal. Or if it was random like it has been, but just like takes less time or less transitions or whatever fuck is the requirement, then that would be fine too. Or like, you know, in Ocarina of Time, the Lost Woods had like, oh, listen for the music and you can tell which way. And even if you didn't do that, you could walk up close and be like, oh, it's still black, you can't go through. Or, oh, you can see the next area. There's a way to circumvent the bullshit. You know, good game design.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
You like kind of don't want to just be negative, but also like we don't think we have anything really positive to say currently. Like this also makes us think of like this Pokemon ROM hack we've been playing that's like fucking incredible, and it's like on like it came out a few years ago and it's a GBA ROM hack and it's like better than literally any Pokemon game we've ever played, hands down. And like all they did was just add like some basic quality of life stuff, like, and well, just that's kind of it. That's kind of like they added a difficulty selector so like you could actually be challenged, so you actually have to like care about the team you put together. Like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, it's kind of cool in the normal Pokemon games that you can throw together whatever trash fucking team you want and make it through the game. But like, what if like we want to actually like think in our turn-based strategy RPG? Maybe we want to like be challenged by the game and not just walk through it. And another big thing with is like in the story, the bad guys, like after the first few times you encounter them, they start like fearing and respecting you. They're like, oh shit, the player character's coming. Like, oh no. The big bad guy telling the grunts like, all right, no, you're gonna fail, but go try to hold her back as best you can for as long as you can. When the evil bosses don't punish failure because because they know it's impossible for anyone to stop the player character. Like there's a part where like they're trying to do something at the top of this mountain and there's stairs leading up it and they cause like an earthquake that collapses the stairs. So then you go into the mountain, and then when you pop out of it on a side and just walk around it to go back in, like there's some grunts standing there on the edge and they see you and they're just like, oh shit, Ivy's coming, boss. Like, we even destroyed the stairs. How is she coming? She's gonna make it here. We don't know. We just think it's nice that if you continuously beat someone's ass, that they start fearing and respecting you. Instead of just treating you like a punk-ass kid constantly. Like, we don't know. If we got beat up by a 5-year-old 5 times in a row... five. You know, at a certain point, we'd be like, alright, man, here's our lunch money. Or whatever 5-year-olds care about. Alright, fine, put on little Einsteins on the TV. Pat, 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 blast off. Jeez. We've had to sit through so much little Einstein. Paw Patrol is propaganda, by the way. Those dogs are fucking class traders. chases scum. Fucking sullying the name of cop dogs by making it a choice instead of being forced into it. Plants can't walk, can they? Oh, sure.
In my veins.
We love a thing of like, you want to know how to be a good cop? Quit. And it's so dumb when people are like, oh, it's not okay to like be transphobic or whatever, but it's okay to like hate on cops. And it's like, yeah, it's a career, it's a job. Like, you chose that. You made the conscious decision of like, yeah, I want to be able to murder anybody I want indiscriminately, especially minorities. What's the difference between an acorn and a gun? Who knows? Better start blasting. It's okay as long as I say I feared for my life, I can get away with anything. Fuck cops. Fucking fascist tools of a rich.
I am the rogue thread.
Like, we remember one time, like, we were bitching about cops, like, kind of in front of our ex, and, like, her husband was something like, well, who are you gonna call if you get robbed or something? It's like, not the cops, because what are they gonna do? Fucking show up 5 hours later, file some report that they never follow up on, and then, like, nothing happens, and... What's the fucking point? Like, oh, is someone breaking into our house and threatening us with violence? What are we gonna do? Call the cops? Like, what? So they can show up after we're dead? One time in an apartment complex, when we were still with our ex, we got the cops called on us, and like, we had a little bit of a fight, but like, it wasn't that big. And like, they separated us, and apparently the cops kept asking her, like, the person who called in heard someone say like, I'm gonna kill you over and over again. And like, they kept asking her, like they were trying to like force her into being like, yeah, arrest this man. Like, they were bloodthirsty. And it's like, and they also showed up like hours afterwards. Like, the fight happened like around like 7 or 8, and like they showed up at like 11. Like, we were in bed. And it's like, so someone called in 911 saying like someone's threatening to kill someone, and you're like, yeah, let's show up like 3 hours later. If we were killing someone, they'd be fucking dead by then. Yeah, like, we've told people this plenty of times, like, we will not call the cops no matter the situation. Like, no. At best, nothing really will come of it, or they show up late. At worst, someone gets fucking shot for, oh, their eye twitching slightly, and a cop being like, oh no, they're going aggressive. Pow, pow, pow. Here's 7 warning shots in the back. We have a friend, Michael. He's Mexican, right? So like, he's fairly brown. And he's told us so many stories of like how close he got to getting murdered by a cop, and pretty much the only thing that saved him was he was with a white person who spoke for him. And simple as that. Like, if there was just one less white lady hanging out with him, he would be fucking dead. Disgusting. We're still doing this. Oh, we're back fucking here again.
One step at a time amidst the madness.
That's what this game has reduced us to, just being mad.
They will see. Oh, yes.
It's been over half an hour and we're still doing this. There is. Oh, we hate the whole like, oh, keep it civil. Like, there's no need to be emotional or get upset or anything. It's like, fucking bullshit there is. There isn't. Like, what? Are you supposed to be calm about, like, fucking the genocide happening in Palestine? Or, you know, fucking the countless homeless who are just living out on the streets while there's, like, piles of high-rise apartment complexes that have been abandoned because it turns out they're not profitable? Like, there's entire, like, villages of cookie-cut houses that are completely abandoned because, like, the investor of it is like, oh, wait, maybe this isn't a good idea. And they're just there. There's no reason anyone should be homeless. We throw out more food than is eaten. Oh, but yet, like, there's a population problem. Like, fucking bullshit there is. Fucking logistics problem. Fucking greed problem. Oh, why would anyone buy food if you just give it out? So, you know, you'll be fired if you eat any leftover food. What the fuck? Just like how council game, like we saw someone say this today in a Discord server and like kind of made us really mad at how right they probably were. You know why the reason console games probably don't focus on local multiplayer anymore? Because there's no subscription service in local multiplayer. Fuck you, pay us. We don't want some of the money, we want all of it. Turn it over now. Spend everything you have on this fucking video game. This is why we don't play modern AAA games. We don't even look at them really. Like, AA is like the highest we'll go, you know, like, guess this game would probably be AA, like, From Software is kind of like straddling the line a bit. It's so wild that, like, even though From Software has found such insane success by catering to a niche and budgeting accordingly and making fucking gangbusters, they're just like, how about we just keep doing what we're good at, keep focusing on niche interests, and dominate the whole fucking industry to the point that you came up with started a whole new genre. There's millions of clones out there, fucking Souls-likes. And then here's Ubisoft releasing Assassin's Creed 20 for the 5th year in a row, and it's fucking trash. Oh, Breath of the Wild came out. Better make Assassin's Creed more like that. Wish we had weed. Apparently, even once you get like a letter of recommendation and diagnosis, you still then have to pay $200 for the appointment and to get the medical card. Because Utah's like, fuck you. Oh, what? The vote passed for the proposition of what was it? The varying conditions for medical marijuana. If a fucking church comes in, changes it, and like that's just okay? Like what the fuck is the point of voting if literally the church can come in and change it? Bully the fucking government into conceding and changing fucking something that passed by popular vote. What the fuck? Ugh. We fucking hate liberals. Like, oh well, what can you do besides vote? You could fucking do anything. Oh wait, we're here. Oh, we're here finally. 40 fucking minutes. On top of the like 20 minutes we were doing this before. Fucking go quicker.